DC animated movies have always been pretty good to pretty okay. For the most part, when it comes to DC animated films, they are, in my opinion, from old to new, they have been better than Marvel, better than most animated movies that's come out. Although the recent new movies that are involved in this new canon universe, the Tomorrowverse, after the spectacular movie that was the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, have been pretty hit or miss for me. I'm not gonna lie. Although generally most of the movies are pretty good at DC, from recent to older movies. Let's be honest here. Come on, let's all be honest here. That the Batman animated movies are pretty much the backbone to DC's whole like catalog of DC animated movies. But the movie I wanted to focus on today is the Batman, The Doom That Came to Gotham. After watching this animated movie, I wanted to recommend it to every fan of the Batman animated series who have yet to scratch that Batman getting mixed up in genuine horror itch. It is genuinely a delight to watch. In this Batman animated movie, it perfectly mixes cosmic horror, magic, mystery, prophecy to recreate the story and make it unique. It captures its use of being a one-off story and its identity as a one-off story to recreate iconic villains and weave these incarnations into the narrative in creative ways. It's honestly pretty brilliant the way they recreated these villains that we know of. Batman with a hint or a dash of horror makes everything much better, and it melds together nicely. It's like Batman is like peanut butter or jelly, and horror is the jelly or the peanut butter. And the bread is literally just the medium of which is being portrayed. It's gonna be lovely no matter what, if done correctly, right? It's amazing, right? I will say that there are deaths here. There is a lot of death here. Even Batman catches a few bodies. Unfortunately, through the narrative, it's it's pretty close to home for him. The movie isn't afraid to recreate everything we know of the Batman mythos for the sake of its original story. Many of the characters, for the most part, like even the villains that we know of, like aren't even villains by the time Batman's doing his thing in Gotham, and they are actively being transformed into the villains we know and love in the casual form that the narrative transformed them in. And their design is honestly pretty cool. Honestly, some of the designs I prefer a little bit more than the original. Like when it comes to Mr. Freeze, like his design in here is honestly pretty cool, minus some of the narrative aspects that they needed to. It's if you guys see it, you understand. But like just like the general design is pretty cool. The overall plot is pretty much in Gotham during the early 1900s. It is completely crazy, with Batman even acknowledging the mystical aspects of the world, and that's how he saves Gotham. This is a completely crazy and lovely Elseworld story that honestly I would love to see more of. However, the way the story unraveled and how it wrapped up, it makes it impossible for that, unfortunately. The movie knows its plot is insane. The very mystery itself of the movie drives Batman borderline insane. I'm gonna just be honest. He talks to a dead body to go ahead and try to find answers. And honestly, the answers were pretty spot on, just that he didn't truly understand because he's not part of the mystical world. The way the movie is written and directed, it understood its assignment, essentially, that it is a one-off story and recreates everything in an interesting way. I have to give this movie a 9 out of 10. The only crime this movie committed is being a tad bit rushed. The movie's only like an hour and 30 minutes. I think an extra 30 more minutes would add to the horror, the suspense, the drama, to the plot, and I think that would be lovely for the movie. I think that will make it perfect. Now, the next movie that is coming out from DC, from the animated DC studios, is Justice League War World with what was his name? I guess Mongol. And that movie has a lot to live up to. It's part of the canon Tomorrowverse, and maybe I'll do a video on it if it is pretty good, but we shall see. We shall see. That'll be honestly everything. Thank you everyone for listening. Give this movie a watch. I did watch this on HBO Max, or what it wants to be called now, Max. But honestly, it's a great movie. I recommend it. Take care, everyone. Take care emotionally, mentally, and physically. I'll see you guys next time.